Let's take a quick look at StoryMaker, the new application from Awesome Stories. You've logged in and you're at your dashboard, and grading, classroom setup, assignment maker, reports, bookmarks are all available, and there's lots of links to videos and PDFs to show you how to use the different tools on your dashboard homepage. But we're going to go straight into StoryMaker. And here we see these are the stories that we've started so far. We are going to build a new story today. The very first step is to decide, are we going to do a one web page story that can link to many other things in the media stream and in the story itself, or are we going to do a multi-chapter story? Let's keep it simple today and do a story brief. Then we decide what subjects is this going to relate to today, and I'm going to say that because this is going to involve a lot of reading once our students get into using it, as well as study of social studies and history, I'm going to call it both language arts and social studies, and I think it could be used at 6th, 7th, and 8th grade levels, possibly earlier with more teacher help and later with more sophisticated research. Story's origin. Here we can relate our story to an event, to a book, to a film, whatever. I'm going to look at an event, which is disasters and breakthroughs in the progress of civilization. The title of my story is going to be Spanish Flu and World War I, and I'm going to write about the impact of the Spanish flu versus World War I. So now we go into the research part of our work. You can see we've finished the type, the subject, the story origin, title. Now we're on the research. Next we will be looking at the planning and the writing of the story that we're building. In research, for some guidance, which you can use for yourself and also use these to refer your students to them, this will show you angles on great stories and how to find good sources and how to cite things. Diving right in though, there are two major ways that we look at scaffolding research for teachers and students. One is to use the Awesome Search, which is part of Awesome Stories. This is our most sophisticated search. You can search by standard, subject, age, grade, by collection type. Those are the topical collections, by the origin of the story, or by media type. In this case, I'm going to search by just our main subject. And you can see that the number of resources are being sorted as they come up with what it is they're going to show me. And now I'm going to see 39 resources I could use. These first two are chapters that I could add in my media stream. This is an image that I can use, and the Spanish flu really hit Philadelphia when folks came back, so I'm going to pick that image. And all I have to do is to paste the URL into this block and hit add, and magically this has now been added to our story, and all the citations are there, so we don't have to do anything to cite it. I'm going to go back to our results here and think, what else do we want to look at? And I think this image by Edvard Munch, when he himself suffered from Spanish flu, is a very interesting thing to add. I'll add that. And now I'm thinking, I think the fact that there were a number of chapters that give a lot more information, it would be good to choose this one. Infected soldiers carry the Spanish flu where they go, and it comes into the United States. This is a very interesting chapter. I'm going to add that. So we're going to paste that in, and it comes up. And you'll see here that our two images, we can choose to set one of them as the illustration for our story, which means it'll be right at the top of the page. With a chapter, it can't be the illustration of the page, so it doesn't give you that option. Okay, now we're going to look at this. We could do much more with Awesome Stories, looking into all kinds of stories and getting richness. But for now, we'll go to the second way, which is to look at all the other archives in the world that we could. We've taken 18 archives that we think are especially fabulous and useful for schools and students. And we have built some support for them. Here's the Library of Congress. We have an introduction to how to search in the Library of Congress. I'm going to go straight into it here. And you can see you can choose prints and photographs to get right into what you want to see. And I've already found something that's a good resource. When you're looking for resources, you're going to want to find something that's a JPEG or an MP4 or an MP3 so that you can add those to your media stream. In this case, I'm going to click this. It's a very interesting newspaper account with a photographer, Helen Johns Kirkland, took the images. So I'm going to name this World War I from the clouds, and I'm going to put Helen Johns Kirkland name in my title as I save it to my desktop. And I'm doing that so that when I pull it up again, I'm going to know what it is I'm looking at bringing in. So I'm going to now add an external resource, and so we're going to call this World War I from the clouds, and this is a collection of photographs of aerial views. And this is from the Library of Congress. And the creator is Helen Johns Kirkland. And the resource URL is right here. And I just paste that in so this can be found. And the user rights is public domain because this has been provided to us through the Library of Congress. Now I'm going to go to my desktop. Here it is. And it's now uploading. All right, now let's see if it happened. And guess what? There it is. We also, if we decided that none of these 18 were good enough, although it would be very interesting to look at the Imperial War Museum and the Federal Archives from Germany to look at World War I, but we also could think, all right, well, let's look here at other archives that come from anywhere else in the world. And so all you do is type in a keyword, and these are archives which have been used frequently at Awesome Stories, so you can trust them. All right, so now we've done our research for now, and we want to think, which of these do we want to have as our illustration? I think maybe it's okay to keep that one that we chose from Munch. I'll just get it up here. You'll see this is our media stream. This is what we've put in it so far. We're going to go and write the story now, which will fit here. So our next step is to write the story. Now, if we wish, we can begin a outline. And we can add these items, and you could organize your whole passage, or if you don't want to, you don't have to do these. Then you begin to write your story, and if you wish, you can insert an image in the story, you can insert links in the story, write the story, and if you insert images or quotes, you're going to want to number them and create a footnote, and this will lead you right through it, and the footnote will be formatted for you. Then two more optional parts are, if you'd like to set up a question to ponder about this that's really a thoughtful, probing question for your students, you can add it right here, and then this is going to be searchable and accessible to folks as part of your story, and if your story is published to the website, as part of the website as a whole. Now also, once you've finished writing your story, you can read your story into a recorder and upload the MP3 recording here, and it will be synced with your story. And so this is what we will save the story, and it will be in your stories in progress. You can go back and edit it. If you like, you can distribute it to your class, and later you can decide to publish it to the website. That's it. Welcome to StoryMaker.